Oh, you're great. I love the environment there. It's just absolutely perfect for what you do, right?
It is. It is. I'm outside. If the wind gets too loud or the cars get too loud, let me know.
That's okay. I'm sure it won't. But before we dive too deep, for everybody listening, I'm super excited today because I'm a big fan of the show and this guy that we're talking to. This is Chase Morrill from the hit cabin renovation TV show on the Magnolia Network, Maine Cabin Masters. This is pretty special for me because my wife originally was like, "You got to watch this show. You got to watch this show." And I'm like, all the years I've been on television, I was like, "No, I don't really need to watch any TV shows." And and all of a sudden, we're like, "Wow, this is cool, man! I'm hooked."
Great. Good. 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 Good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, and especially from where you guys do this all. I mean, I've got family up there in Maine, up in what is it? Standish is the
Yeah. Yeah.
little city called Standish.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
So I love the country, love everything that you guys are doing, and so I'm going to kind of have some fun today. Kind of started reconstructing and renovating like dilapidated buildings, right? Isn't that kind of how it all started for you?
Yeah. So, growing up in Maine, we're surrounded by lakes, ponds, the ocean, cabins, camps, you name it. So I grew up working on our family camp and working with my grandfather, father, fixing up camps on our lake, in the areas. So you kind of just pick up the skills. And yeah, after college, kind of fell back into working with my father and then joined up with Ryan and Dixie, Jedi. And again, we were kind of doing this before the TV side of things. And
Sure.
the opportunity presented itself. And it presented itself in the form of my daughter's friend's mother knew the production company, Dorsey Pictures, based out of Colorado, and knew they were looking to do something with a carpentry crew in Maine and said, "Hey, you guys should talk."
So specifically, they were looking for a carpenter crew in Maine. It wasn't from a production standpoint, because that was actually one of my big questions, how that happened, which is awesome the way it happened, because it sounds like it was pretty organic through the process. But just to bounce back a second, when did you realize that you guys actually had a business? With the renovations and the reconstructing, because there's only so many of those places you can go do, or maybe there's a lot that people don't know about, in Maine.
They're all over the state. Maine is covered with lakes and ponds. So I live in an area, central Maine. Well, we all live in the central Maine area, and right around us, there's no shortage of lakes and ponds, and there's all these hidden family camps tucked in all over the place. So we grew up going to them, again, working on them. So it's one of those things where, we would work on these projects, but we were carpenters doing anything to survive. We'd do new construction, renovations, right, all this type of stuff. And again, the opportunity presented itself. We did a pilot way up north doing an old trapper's cabin. And yeah, again, it kind of just took off. And, we'd be doing this with or without a film crew. We just happened to have a film crew following us around.
Yeah, and you established yourself sounds like you guys established yourself as expert in that area of that reconstruction on the cabin. So was that your first cabin that you actually did on camera, or was it when did you start specializing in cabins? That's my question.
I think specializing in it, probably exclusively doing cabins when the show kind of took off. Again, we would do maybe 2 or 3 a season, just because, again, we would take whatever job was available working for family and friends. So it all started, Jedi, Ryan, and Dixie were kind of a crew together, and then Ryan started dating my sister. And the crew, we kind of joined. We joined forces, and we were doing a timber frame in Wayne, my hometown, or the town I live in now. And it was middle of February. Again, my daughter's friend's mother said, "Hey, check out this opportunity." And I remember showing up on the job site, middle of February, freezing cold. I was like, "Hey guys, you want to be on TV?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Just let us get back to work, keep going." It was too cold for them to stop moving. So I said, "Okay." And I started, emailing back and forth with the production company. They're like, "Yes, this is real." And we did a few Skype interviews. They must have liked the beards and the accents. And we ended up doing this pilot. And, we thought we would do one cabin, have fun stories to tell. And it's just amazing for us to see how, it's still going.
How did you feel about that first experience with, because it's not like you're running a home video camera when crews are out there following you guys around, you trying to do your work, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were deer in headlights when we first showed up day one, and this whole film production crew with their black SUVs, their black all their camera gear, like it was pretty daunting. And again, I mean, we were clueless. Like none of us had any ambitions, any experience whatsoever. But I think that also was part of the appeal. And I remember on day one showing up and getting ready for work, they're like, "Hey, do you guys want to change your clothes? Do you want to fix your hair or anything?" We're like, "What? No, why would we do that?
You don't need makeup."
Yeah, we're like, and I think from day one,
you're talking to a guy who I grew up in Ohio, basically on a farm. So, the whole idea of this concept, I get it completely because I kind of walked my way into television, the stuff that I've done in all these years in that capacity too. So it was funny because when you come from, I believe this, and obviously you guys are a testimonial of this. When you come from a spot where that really didn't matter, and all of a sudden that elevated everything that you guys do so well and so well deserving, it just makes it easier to do it because you're not consumed. I believe that. I really do, because at the end of the day, you guys are all awesome, great people. You've got the day-to-day stuff that happens with any company. Right, now you've got a little bit of magnification going on. But, you guys set a huge record in DIY on television. I mean, a huge record.
Yeah, and I think a part of that appeal, again, we get that compliment all the time. Hey, you guys are so real. It's like, this is who we are. We're not, yes, of course, sometimes we'll ham some things up for TV's sake, but for the most part, this is who we are. And I think also there's a huge appeal and draw to the state of Maine. Whether you have family connections, you've been here, you came up in the summertime, or you were able to visit, or it's just distance enough where it's, it's a little off the beaten path, and there's that little mystique to it, that unknown. I think there's definitely
we kind of jumped over that, but 3.5 million viewers on your first episode. That's, you guys probably had no idea, except for the phone call. They came in and said, yes. "Hey guys, I think we got something here."
And again, when we started out, they're like, "Okay, most pilots, 1 in 1,000 gets picked up for a series." Right. We're like, "That's cool. That's fine. We'll do this." And then we did the pilot episode. It aired, and waited a little while, and they're like, it got picked up, and like, 1 in 500 series gets picked up for a second season. We're like, "That's cool." Again, we know we're not really. We just want, we know it's not going to last forever. We want to have fun with it. We want to show off, the beauty of the state of Maine. And again, we'd be doing this with or without a film crew. It's just we're fortunate enough to be working, on these beautiful places, on these beautiful locations, these camps that have a lot of history, where most contractors would come in and say, "Oh no, that's a total teardown." We're able to go in and save these structures. Yeah.
How many of you have actually been thinking about a backyard makeover? Do you wish you had room for a pool? Well, you're going to love this idea, and your family and friends, they're going to love it too. Get a Michael Phelps Swim Spa by Master Spas. A Michael Phelps Swim Spa combines the benefits of a pool with the therapy of a hot tub. It comes in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small backyard. Michael Phelps Swim Spas by Master Spas have a water current so you can swim, do aquatic exercises, and have fun with the kids. This will reinvent family time. The water buoyancy will relieve pressure on aching joints, and you can enjoy pure relaxation in the massage therapy seats of the swim spa. And since it's heated, you can use it year-round in any climate. Michael Phelps swim spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas, the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. You're going to love your Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code BIGIDEA to save $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. That's masterspas.com, promo code Big Idea.
It's super fun to watch, and I think the thing for me that's fun to watch about the show is there's some shows that are reality shows that aren't reality. This is reality. This is what you guys are really doing. When you look at yourself, like you're the boss, Ashley's the designer, and Ryan's the voice of reason. Did you all discuss that positioning, or was that always like that day to day as you guys were working and it kind of transitioned over that? Because I just struck me funny that I love it, but I'm just curious if that evolved.
No, that's pretty much, and again, that's pretty much just how we always operated, and it kind of just came through. I think from my family side of things, we were more into the saving and the salvaging and the reusing more so than Ryan, was used to. So it was a little foreign to him, a little hard for him to get used to, but Ashley was always the designer, and we definitely are brothers and sisters. We have a sibling relationship that
sure.
Again,
speaking of that, Chase, it's a really interesting phenomenon that has taken place on the show. I've actually watched it happen, and then you see some of the sound bites that are out there on social media, and the elevated analysis of the realistic budgets from the show.
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of a result of the popularity and your ability to purchase inventory and use product. And I remember seeing Ryan talk to that effect, and it's like, look, we don't care. This is what we do. I mean, we like the recycle part. We like the used part. We like all that stuff. And are these budgets realistic? How'd that make you feel when you first saw that? Because I'm not even on the show, and I know how I felt.
Yeah, I mean, it felt good to be able to showcase, and I don't think we really thought about it, but we went into this again with, we're the ones doing the work. We're the ones, figuring out where the materials are coming from, all this stuff. So we tried to give these realistic budgets for work we can get done. And, first thing I tell the camp owners is it's just a camp. We're not doing high-end finished carpentry. We're the whole crew, all of us are more than capable of it, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to get these camps, in a lot of cases, livable again, usable again.
Right.
If we go in and give somebody working windows that go up and down with screens, they're thrilled. Or, put a toilet inside a camp. This is small stuff that.
What a concept, right?
Yeah, again, but I think it's great to show people that there are reasonable budgets. We get that question all the time. There's no way we do what we do for the budgets on TV, but there's a lot of factors that go into it that make it possible.
Well, you're right. It's part of that whole process of, my guess is that you guys are buying, I forget, it was one episode I watched, one of your podcasts, and I think you were actually talking about how there was a sale going on in town, a lumber company and stuff, that because seasonal, people forget about that there's a seasonal aspect to these things, and there's inventory that can be bought and stored and savings brought on, and the fact that you're just using everything indigenous to Maine, I think it contributes to it.
Oh, for sure.
The full, the realistic budget, I guess, because
yes.
I was kind of shocked when I saw that out there more. Yeah. And I had been aware of it because I like to watch stuff like that.
Yep.
And then when I knew you were going to be on the show, I thought, I'm going to dig a little deeper into this because this is cool and good for you, right? Because when you're on TV, people start poking at you because it's like they got nothing better to do.
Right. Sure.
And I'm sure you felt that along, because you guys are what? Is this the 8th season coming up?
We are currently in our 7th build season.
7th build. Okay.
Yeah. So they break it up, for actually airing seasons, it's different, and it's hard to keep track what season air-wise it is, but it's our 7th build season. And what we're finding now is difficult is because the shows are 1 hour long and they're basically independent. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a consecutive series. Each episode is a cabin. Episodes that aired in season 1, I mean, we were doing $15,000, $25,000 budgets, but the work we were doing then, there's no way we can do the same amount of work in today's market because of the inflation and prices and everything. So it's hard for people, if people aren't aware or they're watching them out of order, they'll see us do one episode for $15,000 and say, there's no way you could do that work now, which is true. I mean, today we couldn't, but we were able to at the time.
Right. Well, and inventory, heck, wood, I mean, all that.
Yes. Oh, all of it.
Materials cost, and you're trying to forecast it. That's why I thought the brilliance of what you guys did. And this is exciting for me. And I think people listening to this also and watching, understanding what you guys really, really, truly think about when it goes into the project. Because for me, what I'm hearing, and I'm just elated to hear this because you guys have stayed true to all that. And also that, like you said, inventory. If there's a shortage of something and they're watching a show completely opposite of what's happening real time, in our market, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I think that seasonally also you have some issues there as far as getting builds done.
Oh, for sure. I mean, for the most part, summertime in Maine is, that's when everything's yes, you can build through the winter, but everybody's here in the summertime. They want their camps for the summer, but it's also when the weather's good and we're able to, days are longer. We're able to do most of the work. We're fortunate that we live in a heavily forested state. So Eastern white pine is, it's everywhere. And
it's plentiful.
Plentiful. I mean, lumber yards all around us. So we can go and again, buy units, 1,000 board feet of 12-inch wide boards at a time, and we'll use it for everything. And that's what they did back in the day. So it's not like we're not necessarily reinventing anything. We're just re-exposing how it was originally built, which I find satisfying and gratifying as well.
He gave me a book on art forgery. I found myself drawn to these old masters. How did these artists take paint from a palette, arrange it on a canvas? I began to unlock the secrets. I was a storehouse of knowledge of how to create an illusion, present it to an experienced expert, manipulate his mind, and convince him and bring him to the inevitable conclusion that the painting is genuine. We flooded the market with my paintings, and I couldn't believe what I did. I couldn't believe it. Then the dominoes started falling, and eventually the FBI were led to my door. They uncovered a mountain of evidence against me.
But they never actually got you. At this point, you've sold a lot. You've got like $1 million in cash. You sold one painting for $717,000. Why did it go away? Why did you never get indicted? And how are we having this conversation?
I guess that's the greatest story of all.
To hear how Ken Perenni made millions in art forgery, dodged the mafia and the FBI, subscribe to The Jordan Harbinger Show and check out episode 282 in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening now.
Isn't it great to have a platform that, like, you can actually say that you're finding something satisfying to do? Because it, like, I love TV. I mean, I just have always loved it.
Yeah. And
to be able to do it, I always told people, gosh, you show me how to pay my bills and do that. And I don't have to make ridiculous amounts of money. That's how much I love it. But if you look at what you guys are doing, it's got to make you feel great to have that kind of impact on the tourism and the popularity of the state of Maine and on that, because this is kind of people think about Maine in the landscape of a map of America, and I'm thinking, and I guess I kind of speak out there for that because I just think it's refreshing to hear somebody like yourself say, like, that makes me feel good that I'm doing that. And
yeah, no, we're all from the state of Maine. We all love the state of Maine. People ask us all the time, hey, are you going to do, cabins anywhere else? We're like, not real. No, we want to be here. We love it here. There's no shortage of work. And again, it's part of who we are. Our families are from here. So
right.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of pride in where we live and what we're doing. And again, I think it's interesting too that, again, we didn't start out with TV ambitions. It kind of found us, and it's found us in something we were already doing. So I think that's great that we're able to get the recognition for what we are doing.
Sure. And I'm sure the demand
Yes.
is there now, because now you're at a point, instead of going out and looking for projects, the projects are coming to you.
Yeah.
People are going to your website, signing up, and hey, submit a cabin for a makeover and things like that. Question that I have for you on the business side, now that TV is involved and personalities and potential casting, like, you're running a company, right?
Yep.
And you're running, and any company has turnover. And as you look at new workers, how much does the casting part play into the new workers that are coming on board, if any at all, as you look at those opportunities?
As far as work,
like if you were interviewing a person to be on, not to be on the show, but to work for your company, ultimately they might be on camera, and you might not look as much as at the personality prior to TV, and maybe now you're looking at it more.
I don't think it affects. Honestly, I don't think we look at it for our crew members. I think we're more interested in finding people who, enjoy what they're doing, carpentry and hard workers. We've actually been fortunate that we've been able to get some younger kids involved. We've had some high schoolers. We have got a couple guys who are still in high school, a couple kids who went through high school are in college, a couple kids who have gone through college and are still working for us. So I think what's important for us is getting more younger people interested in the trades, because that's what we're finding is, again, it's a great opportunity. These are skills that you'll have for your life. And, you're working outside, you're working with your hands, you're working in beautiful locations. And, again, you take pride in the work you do. I think what I find is hard for a lot of the people we hire is, these carpenters, they're skilled, they take pride in their work, but there's a balance between your focus on your attention to detail and speed, because we have 8 to 12 weeks to get these camps done. We've got small budgets. We can't be worrying about, gaps that are 64th of an inch, 32nd of an inch, even 1/8 of an inch. It's measure once, cut it, and go. And, same thing with material we're using. Like, we don't worry about knots and stuff like that. It's
right.
Yeah, it's a challenge for a lot of the crew we hire on that side of things.
That's cool. It's because I've known other shows. And what about in the makeover capacity, where actually casting came more into play than the actual craft itself?
Yeah.
And I guess that was really the basis of that, because I'm thinking, growing pains, those are good to have, but at the same time, and what we're all hearing here is, hey, we're not sacrificing integrity. We're just having a hell of a good time doing what we do. And these cameras are following us around. And now let's talk about the timing of the Magnolia Network transition from DIY. Yes. How about that? That couldn't have been any better for you all.
Truly, we have been extremely fortunate, and we're aware of that. I think we were fortunate with the pandemic that we were isolated enough. And again, we're working in fairly remote locations where we could keep going. We had crews kind of kept crews separate so that we were able to keep going and stuff like that. And then with the whole Magnolia transition. It's been interesting to see. It's been interesting to see, and I think again we're kind of in the right place at the right time to help expand our audience. So
yeah, I have a very unique relationship, cool one actually, with Chip and Joanna and her sister and all that stuff. So very friendly with that whole environment through actually our title sponsor on our show, Master Spas. So it's just kind of cool how you see things kind of fall together, and it's always great seeing wonderful things happen to wonderful people. So let's talk about, the Kennebec Cabin Company, a little bit more about the woodshed, because I think that's a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
You almost build like little magnolia farms out there. So I love it. And I'm really looking forward to actually coming there, right, and checking it all out. But it's a retail store. It's a bar environment. You guys
we call it our worldwide headquarters in Manchester, Maine. We were fortunate enough to find a great location, centrally located in the Augusta area, where we all live about 10 minutes away in each direction. We started with the retail space. We started selling Maine Cabin Masters merchandise, and Ashley works with a ton of artists and cool craftspeople, so we're able to showcase a lot of their products. And then we had all this space out back, and we decided to open a bar. We sell beer and wine. Why not? A lot of Maine-made beers. We've got food there, picnic tables outside, and again, this all kind of happened during the pandemic, so we were able to offer outside space, and it's become a bit of a destination for people. I think, it's really fun to see, when we're there. Again, it's kind of our headquarters. We have offices there. We're in and out all the time, and we meet fans, and people come to the state of Maine. They want to come there specifically. I was there today. I met some people from Canada, from Pennsylvania, just all over, and they were, it's kind of one of their stopovers, which is.
Are you guys doing the lobster bake thing and all that stuff there too?
Yep, we've got lobster rolls daily. We do lobster bakes. We've got some live music. Again, kind of just showcasing what we've got going on in the area, and having fun with it.
I know you guys do your live podcast at the Woodshed also, right?
Yeah, and we've got a tiny little. It's funny. So it's an old 1800s farmhouse originally. So we've got the retail space in the barn. We've got the woodshed is actually in the old original woodshed for the building. That's where we got the name for it. And then up in the attic, there was an old bedroom, and that's where our podcast studio is, from the woodshed. And that's fun. My daughter Maggie is
she's really fun. I've actually enjoyed watching her. She'll like sit there and anybody's listening, you gotta go listen to when you guys do the events, because you can't do as many events as you'd like to do. I know on the podcast side, and I think she'd like to do more, because she's got her little notes there, and she's so cute, and she's loving the whole deal. I think it's just going to continue to grow with you guys. I think it's just so, I hate to sound corny, but it's just so American what you guys do. And you just absolutely have all this integrity with everybody that's going on. And I think that's exciting. What else what can we expect coming up, or any special things that folks traveling need to know about when they're getting up into your area?
Definitely stop by Manchester. Again, we've got the retail space. We've got live music most nights, good food, and great people working there that if you come to Maine and are looking for stuff to do, they can give you all sorts of advice. We do have new episodes. I think the clip shows, repacks they call them, but kind of those top 10 cabin list new episodes are coming out, I believe, in July. So that's kind of exciting. But summer months right now, we're taking a break from the podcast because we're so busy working on cabins that, this month, I think the film crew arrives tomorrow. They're here for most of the month of June, and we'll be finishing up 4 cabins, starting 4 more. So it's, again, it's just go. There's a lot of turnover. So
do they give you guys a shot list when you go out during the day, or do you just say, look, we're out here working, go do your thing?
So when we first started, it was really, again, we didn't really know anything, so it was really awkward. The amount of cameras they had, the footage they needed to get, the different angles, all this stuff. But once we saw an episode and realized what they were doing, it kind of made sense. And they also learned to kind of, at first they tried to like, they had to figure out how it would work. They would almost have a script in their mind and they would try and force a lot of stuff. But they realized if they just let us go and leave us alone, they're going to get what they need and then some.
They probably added a few cameras here and there for that.
Yeah. They know where to stand, or they kind of know the process that we go through to build the cabins, to renovate them, that type of stuff. And again,
I personally would love to see the blooper reels.
there's a lot of them.
That'd be fun, right?
That's for sure. No doubt about that.
Thank you so much for. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
it's incredible, and we'll always be a fan. And next time we get an opportunity to visit there, I think we're actually coming up there in August. We'll figure out how to stop by.
Yeah, let me know. Come on up. We'll hang out in the woodshed and have a beer.
I want a beer and a specialty sandwich.
There you go. There you go.
Chase, thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.